Hello YouTube, DarkPhoenix Gaming here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Vampyr. Last time we left off, we're dealing with a little blackmail situation with the hospital, and I stopped to rest in this hideout. And we are now trying to find our way to the Whitechapel district. Well, at the same time, fending off bloody vampire hunters, because they are bastards. Just with a giant pole up their ass. Thank you for dying, you sons of bitches. Now, as I was saying, we're trying to find our way to Whitechapel because there's a little blackmail situation involving the hospital. I won't go into too much detail because we already spent a little time trying to explain the whole deal, and I don't really want to go into it a second time. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, everyone. I had a couple of pop-ups on my computer I needed to deal with. As I was saying, I don't want to go into it a second time, but one of our nurses was giving out free health checkups was the first thing that was happening. The second being the fact that one of the important sponsors of the hospital that we work at, that Lady Ashbury, I believe her name was, is being blackmailed. And since she's one of the primary sponsors, we need to deal with the blackmailing so that it doesn't make things difficult for the hospital. And through a variety of different means, we've concluded that we need to find our way to Whitechapel in order to address this issue. Sorry, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm getting some frame drops all of a sudden. I would very much like to know what's up with that, but I haven't the slightest clue, really. Enter at your own risk. Whitechapel. District status is listed as serious. Meaning that it's just a little bit away from anarchy. Hey bastards, stop it. Okay, they're busy with our friend over there who we accidentally provoked, so I can get past those vampire hunters. And that's an inadvertent blessing to us, because we don't have to fight them. They're busy fighting our friend, in inverted commas.
It's locked.
So we can just get around, provided, of course, that I can find a way to get past, because I'm not seeing anything around here. as far as which way to go. That's unfortunate. Looks like I'm in a bit of a deserted corner. I'll have to see. Have to see if I can't find another way, but that's a ferocious skull. So they're going to be busy for a while now. We have just unlocked a hideout. Excellent. Let's loot everything we can. There's no one around here to bitch about us taking their shit, so I'll make use of these supplies. Over to here. And let's run from the bastards trying to murder us for being a vampire. Now, where? Okay. Come on. Alright. Heal yourself a little. I know I need to go that way, but unfortunately, it doesn't appear you can go through gates while you're fighting. Come on. Yeah. Heal your ass, please. Heal yourself. You bastard. Come on. How about not? Can't do that. Heal yourself. Okay. My spear thing. Heal your Alice. Come on. Okay. Okay, come on. Need to bring this guy down. And I need some extra blood out of him. You bastard. Wow, this guy's like a mini-boss. That's impressive. I'm impressed about your mini-bossness, sir. And I would like to know where you got the title The Wall. Unless it's from that piece of metal that you're lugging around. Because that thing is certainly a wall to me. Okay, heal yourself, Johnny boy. Hey, didn't your mother ever tell you it was rude to try and stab people in the face and shoot them? You can do one or the other, but not both. Didn't Mommy ever teach you that was rude? Bastard. Or maybe she taught you wrong, and you think it's not rude to do if you're fighting a vampire. If that's the case, well, she lied to you. It's doubly rude when fighting a vampire because I am awesome. And you don't stab and shoot awesome people. It violates the natural laws of the universe. Because it does. Yep, I'm telling you that something does something because it does that thing. And you are not allowed to tell me that is wrong or illogical. And if you do, then you yourself are being wrong and or illogical. Probably both. Come on. Son of a bitch. Come on. There we go. I got him down, and we have most of our health. That was a fairly successful fight, I'd say, even if it was a very long one. Aluminum and some cash. Lead plate and glass vial. Alrighty then. I'll head in then.
Whitechapel.
Yes,
Linked somehow.
This neighborhood is not in a good way.
First, let's find this Petrescu fellow.
Petrescu, you say? I can do that, I suppose. And I also I think, I'm going to have to cure a little bit in this district. It is not, as I said before, in a good way. We're going to have to do something about its present state. And try and unseriousify it. Make it stable, if possible. If that can be done, though, I imagine it will take a while. So, everyone, Welcome to the district of people who like to blackmail for shits and giggles. Also known as Whitechapel. What is going on here? Okay, I think we're gonna have to intervene.
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reid. I would like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Okay. Let's just chat him up a little, I guess. Apparently we can't ask personal questions because we need hints. Unfortunate.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and
Joe Peterson. Perhaps we should have a talk with Mr. Peterson. In fact, Joe Peterson might find himself on our list of potential snacks if he keeps this up. It all depends, of course, on why he's doing it.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap?
Besides that,
As
yes.
long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
So it's becoming more violent. You're saying?
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Trinkets and more. Perhaps I'll look into that for you.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
I'm thinking vampires. This guy seems healthy, but...
Do you need help, sir?
I only need you to purchase something from my shop, sir.
Right.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane. So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, from what we can see, I have to say... Crafty foreigners. That sure blame the migrants response seems to me like it's just asking for a fight, really. So it's either she's an excellent nurse or she's just trying to help. Well, we don't know what she was doing that would cause him to think that, so saying she's just trying to help might make him think that we're complicit in the whole thing. So just, she is a very good nurse.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
What's this now? Giving away medical supplies for free. Interesting. We don't have any of the hints we need for this. And we asked those already. Alright, I'll look at your goods.
Right then. Show me what you have.
Let's see. I have like 230 something right now. I would buy 3 of those. I think. I mean, obviously having business problems right now, so it would seem like the polite thing to do to pay for his time. Now, this is that douchebag, I believe, who he was talking about before.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reid, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Well, I think you're an asshole. And Mr. Lewis over there doesn't like you, and I have a decent first impression of him. So, you're on my list. Can't ask him personal questions. I could get after him about the bullying, and I most certainly will. But what do you actually do around here?
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
I don't like your attitude.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
You're a bastard. You know that? You are a bastard.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Interesting. Now, this is very, very interesting. I'm getting conflicting stories here. The bastard, the guy who's really basically a rat bastard and people seem to really dislike, says that Nurse Crane's a nice girl trying to help people out, but the honest merchant who he's shaking down says she is not so great. Interesting. Because I actually quite liked Nurse Crane when we first met, and she might be giving away medical supplies for free, but I find myself more inclined to agree with this guy, despite personally despising him, because if she's giving away supplies for free when the merchant wants to sell them and make a profit, and helping people in need, I'm more inclined to agree with that way of thinking, honestly. But I think it's time that we ask this. Do you enjoy bullying people? Our friend over there, the merchant, seems to be saying that you're trying to drive him out of business.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job?
So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
A gang, you say? Interesting. So maybe we could do something about this gang? Help clean up the district? Let's see. How should I respond to this? Logically speaking, he could have refused, true, but he did just say it's the only job he could find. So that would have meant starving. Survival is a natural law, kind of the scientific logic way to look at the whole thing, or you are a criminal, more emotional than anything else. Let's see. How would Dr. Reid respond to this? Logic or emotion? Like, let's think about this for a second. He was a field surgeon. He served during the war, and he's shown himself to be willing to bend the rules a little bit if it helps, and if it needs to be done. But that doesn't mean that he enjoys doing that. So I think the emotional response more fitting.
You are a criminal who endorses criminal activity. The least you could do is stop hiding behind this pretense.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone.
I'm starting to get that impression, actually. Really? Really? You used to be good friends. I'll have to look into this.
Can I offer you my medical expertise, Mr. Peterson?
The name is Colossus Joe. I don't get sick.
Hey, it's a reasonable offer.
Mr. Peterson.
And I am not calling you fucking Colossus Joe, you bastard. I mean, he may have a lot... He may have good reasons for what he's doing, and reasonable cause to think like this, but Dr. Reid here still does not like him, and that's not about to change.
You never lose your focus, do you?
So, Joe was a friend of yours, was he?
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
And no one has ever stood up to him. Everyone just lets this happen. Is that what you're telling me?
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
So, Joe, what's his story exactly? Get the feeling there's more going on than I've managed to piece together so far.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Yes, mourning is never easy. And we would know, I mean, Jonathan here did basically kill his sister and drain her blood. Just a few moments after we reawakened as a vampire, so he would know, certainly.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? And most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
Okay. Let's see. We have those two clues, but what have we got for this guy?
I know it's hard to believe, but this district has always been wretched. Don't let your guard down, sir.
Well, I'll be leaving.
To pay, one way or another.
I'll be leaving those two for now. And
You again? What do you want this time?
you to mind your manners, bastard.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Pity I can't seem to unlock any more hints. I'd like to get the full story out of those two, and I'll try someday.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reid. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr.
I do not like you. I do not like you.
I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Yes, let's watch. Darius Petruscu. He has bronchitis, apparently. I'm not getting into the front door, I don't think. Curious. Very curious.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be from Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Oh-ho. So they are working together. I see. And I also see this man has bronchitis.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Yes, yes. Interesting situation that we have right now.
Cheap price, good quality. Come on, take a look. Don't be afraid.
Clayton. I find Clayton in the area.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reid, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Okay. could ask him to let us in. And I think I will.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then?
Oh, I didn't realize we were essentially going to be mesmerizing him.
Even my dreams are soaked with gloom.
Didn't realize we'd be mesmerizing him, or I would not do that. He has fatigue. I gotta do something about that.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Barrett Lewis. Oh.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died.
Right, this is Mr. Thug Guy's kid, apparently.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
I see. I guess we'll just go through the general stuff.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Fair enough. But... I'm getting the impression you're not happy to be around here.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. But look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
No, it does not. But from what I can tell, your father didn't really seem to have many options. Seems like he did the best with what he had.
I'm sure your father did his best when he found this house. Times are tough for everyone, young man.
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reid. It's the living I'm afraid of.
The living, yes. I can see that. I definitely can. Treatment for fatigue. Okay. Well, I'm going to offer you a medical checkup now, I think.
Do you need any medical help, young man?
Yes, I do. I feel so tired. I don't know if it's the epidemic, but everything seems so hard.
Well, I have some medicine here for you, actually. This should help.
You'll feel better with this. But you need to get a grip, young man. Medication alone won't cure melancholia.
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I'm not sure I'm happy with the idea of living long in a world like this. But I thank you for your concern, sir.
Okay.
Goodbye, young man.
Then I will depart.